Quenberg, also known as the Storytelling Dame, and as a former actress, director, and producer, I know the power of stories. And today I want to talk about, yes, stories, but most importantly, the invisible stage. What if the most important performance of your career and life happens before anyone can see you? As an actress, director, and producer, I have stood on many stages: the TV, theater, the audition room, the job interview. But the most important stage I ever stood on, no one could see. And that's what I call the invisible stage. And here's the secret most people miss: the times of preparation that you start at the beginning, the moment no one sees, determines the success you have on your visible stage. And here is one of the things that I always say: the better you are prepared, the better you will then perform. And I learned that many, many, many years back as an actress. And that was the time I realized, wow, as performer, we get a lot of no's. And when you first start out something, you know, as a young actress, you can be a little cocky, right? And it was me. And so I thought, well, I did my schooling and now the rest is history, right? But that's not true. You have to continue with your education and with your training, even when the main education is over. It's a lifelong path of growth and learning. And this is another thing when we prepare. It is the skills you learn even before you need them. So here I was, and then I always played those young characters, the young ingenues and the love interest, the girl next door. And so the one time I thought, well, I am going to audition for some very important. Okay, now I have to stop right here. I don't know if you hear it, but there is somebody at the door and knocking with his bark. Do you hear it? And I need to get them inside. Otherwise, he keeps barking and interrupting us. And let's see what it does, okay? Come on in, Loki. All right, here he is. Do you want to show yourself? You want to show yourself? Okay, come on, show yourself. Come on. I did not kid. This is this is Loki. Loki, say hi. Okay, say hi to my audience. And did you bark at the door? Did you bark at the door? And you interrupted mommy's live stream. Okay, now here I'm back. This is live. I did not plan that, right? Well, anyways, this is my Loki, and he's very persistent. He he teaches me sometimes the how to be persistent. You get what you want, either food or coming in here, right? Did you know that you're on live stream now? You're on live stream. Oh, he doesn't want it. Okay, go lay down. Okay, now you can lay down. Okay. All right. So, this is what I also learned in the entertainment industry. As an actress, you have to be flexible. You have to improvise when something is not going your way, when you are on stage and you forgot your line, or someone is barking behind the door. So here you have it. This is me. This is life. And I am wondering if you if anybody watches that in replay. Did something like this happen to you where you all of a sudden were totally off track? And by the way, when he started barking the first time, I said, oh, boom, my attention went right there and I forgot what I wanted to say and I said it in a different way. But hey, I still said what I wanted to say, but not how I prepared it. So you always have to be aware of those situations. And actually, it's right in alignment with what I wanted to share today with you. And that is the work we do on the invisible stage, the moments no one sees, so we can be fully prepared and be the best we can when it matters. So, going back to my story, as a young actress, there was this one role I wanted to play, and that was the role of a villain. And it was the first German production of Les Miserables in Vienna, Austria. And when there is a first time musical, and it was back in the 80s, so the late 80s when it came to Austria. Wow, I mean, everybody wants to play a role in that production. I said to myself, all right, I'm going to prepare the best way I can. So I looked for a song that was perfect for that character, because you were not supposed to prepare a song from the show. Always better to do another song, but that is similar to the character that you want to audition for. So I found the song from Into the Woods, the Witch's song, Stay With Me, which is a belting where she screams, but also very lyrical. And I practiced it with my vocal coach, and I had it transposed a step lower so it fit my vocal range even better. And somebody transposed it, handwritten. Then I had it recorded on a tape. Yeah, it dates me a little bit. Back in those times, we still had tape recorders. And I practiced every day until it became muscle memory. And then I had to research, how do I do this? The logistics, because the audition was on Monday, because usually Mondays theaters are dark. That's the day off for performers. And I performed at that time in a theater in Hamburg, Germany, which is the northern part of Hamburg, Germany, 1,400 kilometers from Vienna, Austria. So after I was done in the evening, I played Lucy in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, which was a fun role too, but that's for another story. And then I said, okay, I'm going to take the night train so I can get some sleep, and I arrive in the morning. That's what I did. I came to the theater, had to wait in a long line, but when it was my turn, I got onto the audition stage. I brought in my sheet music. There's always an accompanist, and I gave it to him, and I said, this is my music. But I also brought my tape recorder, so if you want, I can use the tape as well. So he looked at the sheet music, what was a hard piece to play to begin with, but then it was also transposed and handwritten. And he said, well, why don't you go ahead and use your tape recorder? So a plus point for me, because I knew that recording inside and out. I started and I belted it out. I nailed it. Usually what happens then, they say, thank you, don't call us, we call you. But this time it was a little different. So there was some whispering going on, and then the auditioner asked, wouldn't you mind go upstairs with the assistant musical director and practice a song from the show? I said, sure. And inside I was like, yes. So I went upstairs and we started rehearsing. Boy, that was a hard song. I was auditioning for the role of Madame Thénardier. That is the villain and the comedic relief at the same time. And when what you may know, if you ever watched it, the most recognizable one is Master of the House, which is pretty simple. It's kind of, you can sing along, papa, Master of the House, dee da 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 da, dee da 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 da. See, not very hard, but that's not the song I was learning. I was learning a song when Madame Thénardier is alone on stage with her daughter and then little Cosette that she is using basically as a maid, and it's really mean to her. And that's really not me, but it's fun to play it, right? So I we practiced that, and then at one point the musical director said, "Oh, okay, I think we don't get this quite, but it's okay. We can go downstairs." I said, "No, no, no, no. Please, let us try it one more time. I know I can get it. I know I can." And she did. So a couple more times we worked through it, and I did get it. So went downstairs, and here I was, belting it out. Wen haben wir hier? Das Fräulein faulenzt herum, ist wieder mal zu fein, ihre Arbeit zu tun. You see what I mean? It went all over the place. But beside that fact, I got it done, and I performed it to the best of my ability. And then I was done. Thank you, and I left. Now, and here's an important part. We don't have any control over the other person or the other party. In this case, the auditioners who made the director, who made the decision who to hire. That was out of my control. And oftentimes we get hung up on those moments, and then we feel terrible because we keep wondering what happens. Do I get a phone call? Did I good? Did I do good? Maybe I wasn't good enough, so they say not yes. Or, I mean, everything in the world swirls in our mind. And that can be toxic for our health and mental wellness. So I want to just give you that peace of mind to release the outcome, because you don't have control over someone else's thoughts or decisions. The only control that you have is over your own thoughts and actions and how you prepare. But here's the thing. The 5 minutes, maybe a few more or less minutes on that audition stage was worth the months of unseen practice. Because 3 days later, I got the phone call and they offered me the role. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about the invisible stage. The months and preparation, the unseen practices and preparations and research. But the same is true in life. Your success is directly related to the work that you put in on your invisible stage. So the success will appear on your visible stage, right? And these are some of the concepts I share in my new book, Gumption. What does it take to be successful? What does it take? It takes Gumption. And I share my Gumption framework in the book that applies not only to performances when acting for actors or performers. No, it's for life. And if you want to have an advanced copy, send me a message. DM me here, put it in the comments, and I'll get you an advanced copy, and I will let you know how this all works. And if you want to be part of my book release party, same thing. Just let me know and you get that invitation. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of prizes, a lot of surprising things. So that was my topic for today, to work on the invisible stage. And that is research that you do. This is the mindset, the habits you work, the habits that are so important, no one sees, the habits you build in private, the books you read when no one is watching, and very, very important, the way you talk to yourself in the mirror. That's the self-talk. And so often that self-talk is negative and of limiting beliefs, of self-doubt. And I would say this is the most important part to start. And what I usually recommend when I work with my clients, with anything they start new, is we have to start with awareness. Because if we are not aware of those things, we cannot make changes. But how do you start becoming aware? Well, listening to videos like this or podcasts. I do have a podcast called Become Empowered, where I not only do solo episodes, but I interview individuals from all walks of life who share their experiences and their insights of how they overcame challenging situations and became their next greater self and became the success they are now. But it all starts out with awareness. And I have this little exercise to put a rubber band around your wrist, okay? And make it a point for that day or for that week or however long you want to do it, to say to yourself, okay, I want to be aware of, in this case, what my thoughts are on a daily basis. Are they positive or negative? What are my thoughts and what is the self-talk I do, either out loud or in silence, inside your head, right? Make that a statement and a commitment to you to be aware. And here's the good thing. Your subconscious mind and your conscious mind, they can work together. Your conscious mind gives a command to your subconscious mind. Say, hey, let me know every time when I have negative self-talk, make me aware. That's all you have to say. And so it's happening. It works. It does. And then if you say, oh, how did I just talk to myself? Bum. Snap that rubber band. So you pull it and snap it. And it gives you a little, hurts just a little bit. Not tremendously, but just a little. And you see it's red. Two things. Every time you have that negative self-talk, first of all, you're aware. And second, it's related with, ooh, that hurts. And guess what happens? More and more you become aware, the less you have your negative self-talk. And that is part of your invisible stage. Those are the moments no one sees. But when you show up on your visible stage, the moments everyone sees, you are more aware of your thoughts. You are more aware of what you say, not just to yourself, but also to others. We become kinder. We become more thoughtful. And with those actions, we become our next best self. We can always improve. We improve until we leave this planet here, right? Until our time is up. We improve. I still grow every single day. And if you don't, you stagnate. And some people even go backwards. You want to make sure to keep growing, keep learning, keep stimulating your brain. Because when we do that, when we stimulate our brains, the neural cells in our brain, they can sometimes reconnect. And of course, you can go deeper in all of those. It's neuroscience. How does our brain work? How does our conscious and subconscious mind work together? Many hypnotists use that concept as well, giving a command, but then also letting the subconscious mind work things out. Because we don't have control over many of the things that are stored in our subconscious mind unless we start working together with our conscious mind and maybe someone who can help you along the way. I just recently did an exercise that was very powerful. And that was of some of the blocks that I had way back from my childhood when I was growing up. And I realized that the money blocks blocking me from success. And that means successful people that have money are all evil. They are not, of course, but some of those old beliefs, that can be very, very detrimental to your success. And so I realized I was sabotaging myself being successful. And the meditation and like mini hypnosis that I did with the guide was helping me to bring my subconscious and conscious mind together and let them work it out. Because our subconscious mind is there for a reason, to keep us safe. Because anytime there is something new, there could be danger. I mean, this is our million-year-old brain we are talking about that had to be aware. If there's something that we don't know, around the corner could be that wild animal that will eat us, or we have to run. So there is attention. Watch out, watch out. But some of those mechanisms sometimes are still in play when, even if there's no danger around. But if there is something in our career, for example, that is new, that we don't know yet, what does that mean to you? It always comes down to, what does it mean to you? If I am going to be successful, if I'm going to be the successful author, the successful speaker, the successful coach, consultant, or whatever it may be, what happens? Maybe I don't have the freedom anymore that I had before. Or maybe people think, because now I have more money, that I'm evil or mean or whatever. Whatever that weird thing is that swirls in our subconscious mind. And I realized I had to deal with a lot of that stuff. And so why I'm sharing this with you is because that's part of our invisible stage, to keep growing, to keep developing. Because when we do that, not only is it better for ourselves, but also for all the people we are surrounded by, our family, our friends. And now listen to that. Also the difference you can make in other people's lives. And I do know that I can make a difference because people told me so. And even I had advanced readers for my book. And they said, wow, Sabine, that was so great. I realized I'm not alone. I realized you went through a lot of excuse my French, SH, you know what I mean. And you got through it with Gumption. And that is what I'm talking about. And we all have that. And you have something within you, a gift, a talent, a wisdom that you ought to share, to leave behind. And you can do it in many different ways. Writing a book or writing music. I wrote songs, I produced a CD, and it's still somewhere out there. Of course, it's on my YouTube channel. Just look for music if you're interested. And those are the things you leave behind. And even if it just touches one person, even it makes a difference in one person's life, you did what you came to do. And that is the beauty of it. You don't have to be rich and famous. You can be rich, but not just monetarily. I feel I have a rich life because of the friends and the family, because of the work I get to do every single day. Showing up here today. I love it. I get to do this because I get to share what my experiences are in life, what I've learned in life, how I used it, and hopefully can make somebody else's life better. And these are all the components for a rich life. And the money follows. The money comes automatically. Don't chase it. Trust me, it's not working. I've done it before, and I do share a pretty embarrassing story in my book as well. But I felt I had to, because when you only share the good things and only the successful things, oh, look at me, right? And I share successful things because that's part of it. But those successes come through the learning experiences that we needed to have as a human being on this planet in life to grow, and also to discern this is not the right way. This is not where I want to go, because I experienced the pain that came along, or the dissatisfaction, or the losses, or whatever it may be for you, that then that experience helped me to shift and get back on the right path to where I am today. And this, my friend, is what I wanted to share with you today. The invisible stage. Master the moments no one sees, to lead the moments everyone remembers. And if you want to set up a time to talk with me, you can do this. Just schedule a time on my calendar. Go to talktosabine.com, and that will help you get on my calendar, or just send me a message. All right, my friend. I hope those words of wisdom that I shared today started something within you. Maybe a thought of, I never thought of it. Or maybe you took action right away. Maybe you started putting this rubber band around your wrist and just give it a try. And if so, I would love to hear from you. And you can always follow me on social media. And if you enjoyed today's episode, I appreciate if you can give thumbs up. And whoa, look at the firework. I love it. Yes, that's what I would like to get. And share this episode with your friend. And be back here next Saturday, 11 a.m., when I get to it. And then we'll talk about another topic. Take care. Have a great weekend. And I will see you next week, same